Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We are here at the Capital City Clash. We actually changed up our schedule a little bit. This is actually going to be the Tournament of Champions game. We moved the Coaches Challenge back to the end of this one. We had some logistics we wanted to make sure we worked out. So we've got Dr. Bob Owens and his Longhorns versus Mike Robertson and the Bills. This is going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, both potentially both first-time gold ball winners here. We're talking in between games, trying to get a little rundown, refresh our memory. You know, we see so many coaches all across the country. Believe me, we work hard to try to keep everybody straight, but sometimes the line gets blurred a little bit. I could have swore Dr. Bob already had a gold ball championship from one of the legs, and he says he doesn't. So we're going to defer to him over my memory. He should know better than me. And Mike's first voyage into a TOC, even though he's a well-known player from kind of the days past here. So
Yep, never played a TOC tournament. He's played in DFW, which is... All right, we are going to stop the clock. 29-12. We're going to stop the. They weren't quite ready. A little bit of field equipment issues. Ball boys probably fired. Didn't have any yard markers.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to go at the 17-yard line.
Kind of got a guest referee for this championship here.
Not just a guest referee, a legend.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't expect a whole lot of arguing the calls.
Yeah, we got Jim the Hulk Davis. Jim the Hulk Davis as the guest referee for a Texas takeover style Tournament of Champions. Dr. Bob Owens made it. I was thinking he made it to the Final Four, but he did make it to the Elite Eight Tournament of Champions. So he's on the upswing for sure, and I expect him, as well as Mike Robertson, to climb our top 10 list pretty soon.
And both of these teams have just been on a tear all weekend. I expect this to be just sack central today.
Yeah, I think Dr. Bob's got the speed to go. Mike Robertson definitely has the defensive pressure. We've seen that in our previous games. Just coming the edge pressure has just been intense.
And I've accused him all along of being Marty's twin, even running with the Bills, because very, very similar game styles. Marty probably plays with a little more aggressiveness, a little more muscle power, but Mike here, nonetheless, expert tactician, bringing pressure from all over the place, and it's just it's fun to watch. Probably a little less animated than Marty is, but nonetheless, it's deadly. So, yeah, we had to get the Hulk to referee. He's probably the only guy that can keep peace here amongst these two up-and-coming legends here.
Run pass options to call.
Dr. Bob's passing's been pretty deadly today,
He has. But he's also gotten a lot of good pressure up the middle for a good pass, and I think he's going to keep it. Yep. So number 11, I believe, is going to keep it right up the middle, and he's going to get turned out. Yep.
And he's done well with that up the middle stuff. We saw him romp off about an 80-yard run earlier.
That's good for Gridiron Buzz Network. First down. So 1st and 10. Dr. Bob is moving just down the field just like we just saw. All right, guys, let's go early in this one. Let's put a poll up. What are we thinking? Oh, I don't think we get a high score. I'm thinking less than 40 points, but...
No, not with these offenses, not with the defensive pressure. I'm thinking probably sub-40s as well.
Yep.
I'm thinking a little bit more of a lopsided score. I'm not going to tell you which way I'm leaning yet, but I'm really thinking something like 28-7 is where I'm thinking.
So we want to go over-under on 40?
Yeah.
All right. After this play,
but I think it's going to be a little distance between them before it's all said and done. I'm not quite prepared yet to tell you which way I'm leaning, but for some reason I think with all the pressure that's going to be brought from both sides, there's going to be a lot of running lanes open.
Yep. Definitely will be. So let's see. After this play, I'll throw up a poll. It'll pop up on your screen. All you got to do is just touch a button. What do you think? It's going to be about the total amount scored between the two coaches. Our polls have been pretty accurate this weekend.
Oh yeah, GBN Nation knows their stuff. You can just about somewhere in the 90 percentile take what they think to the house with it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of indecisive here. I'm not really sure which way this one's going to lean. I just think there's going to be some separation. I'm not really expecting a close game, but a good game. And very rarely are you going to say maybe a 21-point spread is going to be a good game. But I think this will. I think it's going to get up and down the field some, but it's just not going to be high scoring.
Should be a quick tackle right here. Receiver number 26 has caught the ball. He's going to turn out of bounds. That's going to be good for Gridiron Buzz Network. First down.
Kind of good to see Hulk in a different role here. You know, we hear so much Watson play so much, and he knows his stuff. He's capable of being impartial when it's not him at all. So he's going to be all right. We just have to.
All right, polls are out. Cast your votes.
Pat just like reading his name.
I think so, yep.
Yeah, hey, look, that's me on there.
Yeah, 100%.
Does he even know he almost got caught sleep cam yesterday?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know that you almost got on the sleep cam yesterday? You were so close. Your eyes hit the back. Your eyes closed. Your head hit the back of that wall. I had that camera. About that time, somebody called you.
Yeah.
I think that they were watching this. They had to be because they called you, and I was like, "Oh, we did get Leroy though. Leroy was great."
Yeah.
Eyes
just gave it up.
Hat over the eyes. It was done, man. It was over. All right, polls are out. Welcome in, everybody. This is the championship game. Mike Robertson, Dr. Bob Owens, Capital City Clash 2019. And it's been a good game so far, just getting it started. And Dr. Bob's passing has absolutely been on. That's a complete pass.
That was a near interception. There wasn't a ball's width between the left shoulder of that linebacker, and he threaded that like a laser beam and connects with his receiver.
I agree, Mark. It is the Mike Turner sleep cam. He still owns the record.
Yes.
Of eating Cheetos and all kinds of crazy stuff on the mic. I don't know. Coach 55, though, on the he did fall asleep on the mic himself, so he would have been in the booth on the mic had we had it at the time.
But Mike set the bar pretty high. It's going to be a while before we can catch him.
Oh, yeah, always. Second down.
And here we see kind of a somewhat up and down the field offense here. But again, not necessarily a bend but not break defense, but a stiff enough defense not to give up the easy stuff. I think this is playing well into a somewhat low-scoring game. Enough scoring to keep it exciting, I believe.
Yep. I think everybody's being really cautious. They're trying to. These two, even though they're from Texas, have never played each other.
Never met.
Never played each other. Mike Robertson, no slouch to the game. No, he's just not played Tournament of Champions. Dr. Bob has been on the uprise the last few tournaments, and he's determined. I told him in between games that we saw it on the cam. You can kind of you can tell body language, and I was like, Dr. Bob, your first half, like, it was intense. The second half, you started letting off a little bit, and he's like, yeah, I'm tired. I said, we're all worn out, man. We get it.
And we've said it so many times in these championship rounds, it really comes down to who has the endurance. We saw Salty kind of just run out of gas there the last half, and it hurt him. You know, he was limping around the board. He was in pain, and I've said it over and over.
21-13.
21-13. We'll back the clock up to reflect it.
Is that Mike?
To keep the speed of the game going and the flow of the game, we don't allow timeouts in the pool play in the lower elimination rounds. But once we get into these Final Fours and especially the championship game. There's just too much at stake not to allow a coach to kind of pause for a second and get everybody going. You know, you hope and wish you could take both of these tremendous competitors onto the horse rider with you and hand them both a gold ball, but I'm sitting here just kind of, my mind is doing flip-flops. What if this and what if that? And of course, Dr. Bob is more than deserving here, and be ecstatic to watch him win this and punch his ticket on into Richmond. But then I'm thinking, here you have Mike, and how would this play out if he runs into Marty with almost a mere top team?
Oh my gosh.
Somewhere in the quarters of the semis, you know, it's just
that's incredible. Yeah. Good morning, everyone joining in. I see our viewership numbers coming in. Definitely appreciate it all. Yeah, I could definitely see a Marty and a Mike matchup, Bills versus Bills. Very similar style. And the clock will start on the buzz of the board.
To kind of put it maybe in an analogy on it, in a Hulk term, and use Marvel Comics, you know, you're looking at something like a,
there we go,
you know, almost a Thor, Captain America type of battle with those two.
Complete out to the right, and nobody home, but he does have a safety that will be coming in, and this is fumble territory. We've seen this before, this angle, this T-bone angle, but Dr. Bob's figures are generally kind of low center of gravity, so they shouldn't have too much of an issue at all. And there it is, good tackle, and that is down at the 18-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 1, and that's going to be good for a Mr. National and the Mr. National podcast. Red zone alert.
Yeah, we've seen some hits this weekend. It should have come with police reports. I mean, they were everything from major accidents to assault and battery, some of them.
Yeah, crash test dummies. We've seen some pretty crazy things. I'm excited to get back home, work in the office, and try to maybe put together a highlight reel from this weekend, because there's been some hits. 2nd and 1 for the Longhorns. Is he going to try to go isolation out here on the right again? I think so. That's kind of his go-to right now. Either that or he's trying to spread them out and make a stream right up the middle. He's just got 1 yard to go. He's already in the red zone. Motion out to the left. Passing. And here we go. Good pressure, but there it is, that out to the right flat. Or we're going to the left. We'll see. I think Dr. Bob's going out there to the left flat. He's got one man to beat. He's got to be careful about interceptions. Right there in the middle of them. Right in the hands.
No, here he's just going to run to the flag in the corner. Just to run away from the pursuit.
Yeah, he should have the speed to get in the end zone here. There's a safety over the top. You got to watch out for that. Ooh,
he took a little crow hop there.
A little bounce, a little hot spot. It's going to bring up a first down.
We saw that in almost the same spot on a kickoff.
We have first down.
A couple of games back where there was a wide open lane up the left side on the kickoff return, and the returner just kind of crow hopped in place and went down like the 1 yard line.
Wow. I don't know that he would have made it anyways. That safety closed the gap in a hurry.
Yeah, he just never really got any traction when he did that little crow hop. He went up in the air, and by the time he gained traction again to take off, the safety was on him. There's someone we haven't heard from in a while. How you doing, Mr. Will? Everybody scoot over on the couch. Will's in the house. You need some room.
Yep, Mr. Will Chalmers. We've seen it himself. 80-yard pass in the bucket. I'll never forget that. Richmond 2015. The crowd went wild. I thought something really did happen, and it did.
Yeah.
It was a pass. Unbelievable. You want passing skills? Mr. Will Chalmers can knock it out. Got some motions going on. 6 seconds to respond to anything that the offense did. They're going to go right up the middle.
12 men on the field. Once he called it, it's like a high pitch. So it's 12 men. Move back 5. Got him?
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. 12 men on the field.
First
Yep.
and 15.
Certainly 12.
Yep. Quarterback made 12. It happens. It's going to be 1st and 15. So backing them up.
Down goes Hulk. We were wondering how long he was going to be on his feet to ref. We made it almost 20 minutes into the game, and he's out.
Yep, that's all right. He's doing a great job. It takes a lot to referee one of these games.
Yeah.
You a lot of pressure.
Especially after you played all weekend.
Well, the pressure. You don't want to miscall something. You know, it be controversial, and you gotta stand in there and take it. Mark Holligan, we've seen him do it.
Mark's great.
You got to do a very authoritative style, but it's a control thing. You don't want to get pushed around by these coaches. There's a lot of competition.
I remember he made a call.
High.
He made a call, and one of the coaches wanted to start arguing with him about it, if it was a complete pass or not. Mark looked at him, didn't even blink, and said, "If I'm still counting, it was good."
That's a true story. It happened. Yep. Put away. 2nd and 15.
I thought they said that you had to have a running back in the back. Oh, with a stationary. My bad. Yeah, you went over my bad. My bad, Bob.
There we go. Got it cleared up. Welcome in. Jimbo Dunnigan is watching. I see you, Jimbo. He's right here, like within arm's reach.
Jimbo's in the front row of the high-dollar seats, but he logs in for our ratings, our numbers.
Yeah.
he brings legions of fans with him. So.
Yep. That he does. We'll have to make our trip up to Chicago one time and go check that out.
Oh, we're gonna make the rotation soon.
Yep. It's coming. We got some big plans.
I'm thinking like mid-fall, so when it's cooled off and it's not too hot up there.
3, 2, 1, hands off. 6.
What are we gonna see? Is this gonna be another? No, he's got the box stack. No runs up the middle here.
Now you lined up, right? Now you right. 40 seconds clock start.
Look how deep the
5-yard penalty. 2nd and 20.
Yeah, he lined up 5 yards back instead of on the line.
2nd and 20. So 2 penalties. Longhorns struggling right here.
doing that beep mode.
Mr. Barry Stevenson, what's going on, man?
He always makes an appearance at some point.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you. Wish you were here. Had a heck of a turnout. Guys, we were two coaches away from that 50 number. We almost did it. That's the mark on a TOC right now, is to get 50 coaches. So I'm hoping. Listen, if we got to play outside at River City Blast,
Yeah, we're gonna be out on the sidewalk.
we'll pay for the parking lot. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Turn out. If you're thinking about it, it's going to be beautiful. It's first week of June. We'll get the dates out. It's probably on the loop a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's one of the big things. It's going to be a great time. David Nichols, Charles Lane, Larry Henderson, those guys really put a show together. I believe the date of that is the 8th and 9th of June. So really it's the 7th through the 9th if you want to get in on that Coach's Challenge coming
Come
on
on
that
down.
Friday.
Come down a day early. Hang out.
Yep.
Get to know some of these, what we know as legends and almost godlike figures in this hobby. And, we had young Ransom Fox up from Virginia. What a joy that young man is.
Oh, my gosh.
He's well on his way to being one of these superstars in the near future. He just, he was just like, had that deer in the headlight look, just like, but, the moment never was too big for him yesterday. He played well, he represented himself well, he learned. And it was just information overload every 5 minutes with him, because every time he make a turn, there was a Hall of Famer, a world champion, a league champion, a Final Four finalist, those kind of people. I mean, they were just pumping as much knowledge into that young man as they could. And I'm like, you know what we're all doing here? We're creating the next monster.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And who knows? I mean, when you look at that kind of stuff, and when you look at, the youth and where does it go from here? How do we grow the hobby? That's the next thing. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, there you go. Mike Robertson on the left, Dr. Bob on the right, and we're seeing the intensity level starting to come back. But I think this is a little bit different from Dr. Bob. I think he's starting to wane a little bit. He's focused, but I think he's getting frustrated. He's really got to slow down. Missed a couple passes, had a couple penalties, going backwards.
Well, he's not able to do the things that he's been used to up to this point, and I don't think he's really quite faced an opponent like Mike, because Mike is just all over the place. He's getting in the way of everything he's trying to do. Like I said before, early on in this broadcast, I said I think we're going to see the ball get up and down the field. I think we're going to see enough offense to get a separation. I just don't think we're seeing a really high-scoring game here with these two. This could very well be one of those 14-7 games, and that's what 14-10 games. That's what it's going to take to win it.
Looks like we're going to see that quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's got a good wedge, and he's got a lead block out there.
It's all going to be key on this guard catching the block.
Oh, wow.
And that was just it,
Positive yards, but it's going to make it 4th down. 4th and 7.
And the right-hand guard out front did his job and got the block. The left hand didn't. And now we're going to the field goal. Howard, yes, this is the championship game. We had to move it up in scheduling. We've got some folks got to get out of here on some flight times, and we hate being the cause that they're going to miss a flight. So we had to flip-flop. We have not finished the Coach's Challenge games yet, and we'll have that one right after this.
Perfect. You heard it hit the board, and here we go. 9:43.
Just let me know if the field goal was good.
It was good.
Because I thought it might have hit the bar.
Okay, let me back it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Let me stop the clock. 9:43 was the time.
Yeah,
okay, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I got it.
Okay. You tell me where.
Yeah, it's over. It's gonna be over here. I was looking. I just looked at the board. I thought as long as it hit the board, but let's. Okay, here we go. I've got the right angle. I've got this angle, so give it just a second.
I just want to know if it hit inside the black. If it hit the bar, it's no good.
Okay.
Oh, his hand in the way. Okay.
There we go. So, yeah, it's good. Yep.
That's what we're here for, that one play. Make sure we're here for that one play.
Yep, so controversy, field goal is good.
That's what the check's going to be, too.
So Dr. Bob and the Texas Longhorns are going to go up 3-0. First score of the game. Yep, so good stuff.
See, even people at home, Kit and Mark, Jamie's, they're all chiming in. That's the power of technology. We take the guesswork out of what we're doing. But, even having said that, and I say that somewhat in jest, and we see it even at the highest level. How many blown calls did we see in the NFL last year? Referees are human, and we're going to make mistakes. But very rarely, less than 1/10% is technology going to lie to you. Every once in a while, you just get that bad angle and you just can't make it out. But 99.9% of the time, the cameras aren't going to lie to you.
No, not at all. We can slow it down. We don't normally put it back on the main screen for you guys to see, just because we have to might back it up and go forward and back it up and go forward. But definitely, no doubt about it, even in real time, looking at it again, it hit the logo. Good call. Good eyes out there.
And to kind of clarify something, I think I was off mic when I was trying to say this. We, as in Gridiron and Buzz, the announcer, we don't make the call. It's not up to us. We only provide the replays. The referees take a look at it. We don't even allow the coaches. They can petition the referee to want to have a replay or a challenge a play, but we don't listen to the coaches begging, because we'd be here every play trying to get through a replay on every play. So if they ask the referee deems it in his discretion that he wants to look at it again, then we'll back it up and show it to the referee till he makes a call. But we, as an announcers and broadcasters, we don't make the call.
All right. Hey, our clock came through again.
Yeah.
they forgot to start the
Boy,
clock.
this is going to be a big check they're going to owe us for bailing them out today. I see a whole lot of heads rolling and jobs being turned over today.
Ball boy got fired. Clock man.
We didn't get started and the ball boy was out of the job.
Yep. Isaac, we'd love to see you come out, man. Thanks for coming all the way from the West Coast out to the East Coast. Hope you had a good visit with your family. He was kind of telling me some cool stuff. I think he's got a sister that's out here.
Right.
Hey, there we go, another West Coast. J.C. Davis.
Well, now that we've kind of went, as we always say, coast to coast and border to border, it's almost a necessity. You want to see the East guys going to the West guys, South guys coming to the North, and it's almost, you feel like you're missing part of the family reunion if you're not seeing each other every time. But we realize that travel schedules and stuff, work issues, family issues prevent everybody from traveling every time, and this is why we try to do this, so we can at least, at a very minimum, we can hear from folks that we know are paying attention to what's going on. So, but I think that tournament in January and the Rumble, I really think that went light years ahead to celebrate bringing these coast to coast together. And that was a great, terrific trip out there. Just hardly can wait till it happens again, really. But we got some unfinished business here at the Clash, and we have to get through the River City Blast in Chattanooga, and then we have our last leg in Richmond, and then into the World Championships, and we have to do all that, and then we have to reset the table and start over again. But we're coming back to you. We'll be back out there. This thing is starting to get bigger than all of us now collectively, and that's where we want it. We want it to continue to grow. We want to be able to have folks like young Ransom that was here yesterday. We need youngsters like that by the dozens, by the hundreds in every part of the country. Can you imagine? We could have a whole separate division just for, say, 21 and below.
Yep. Not necessarily a novice, but novice league, but something along those lines, a feeder into the Tournament of Champions, anything like that. That's on the horizon. I mean, some junior type tournaments, some things like that. I could definitely see that being beneficial at this point. All right, quarterback option. It's 3rd and 7. This is a big play here. Looks like it's going to be a quarterback off the break. Good tackle. So it looks like we might have moved him back a little bit.
Isaac's talking about how good of a time he had here, and his offense really never got off the ground. And I have a theory. Do you remember in the Rumble when we had to tone down the Eagles Fly song? I think we kind of grounded some of his offense and kind of took him off his game there, and we took away his battle cry. But we had to do it because it was playing in the background, and we ran the risk of, he didn't know it at the time. No fault of his, but this is how sensitive Facebook is. If somebody has a radio or something like that playing in the background and there's music coming through, for whatever reason or however reason, Facebook can pick that up, and we can actually go to Facebook jail. And so we have to be very sensitive now as to what's actually playing in the background. Anything that's copyrighted or trademarked like that, that's just my theory. We're going to hide behind that for now, because Isaac's a great coach and he's a great ambassador for his hobby. And until he gets that offense back, that's what we're going to blame it on for now.
Yep. So 1st and 10 after a punt by the Bills. Dr. Bob's going to have possession, and that I think Dr. Bob's going to play low clock control, at least go down. Obviously, he's going to score, but or at least attempt to score. But if not, try to at least squeeze another field goal out of this. That should be pretty cool.
Well, I'm not going to tell you he's completely content only getting 3 points out of this.
No.
But he's gonna play the hand that he's dealt here, and if that's the way it has to be, and I said earlier, I think this is going to come down to one of those 10-7, 14-10 type games.
Here we go. It's going to be a pass. Kind of in the middle of the pack there. He's got a man over the top. He should be able to hit him right in the back. Good pass. Does he have the speed?
This is going to be a huge collision about midfield.
Number 8.
Right here.
Oh, and he got hit and turned.
Him.
So it's going to be 2nd and 9. Excuse me, 2nd and 1. I'll get it right here. 9-yard pass. So, and I think that's all it really takes in this game. As long as you're moving the ball and you can get down into range, you're normally okay.
Move the chains. No one ever wants to go in thinking shortchanging yourself, and I'm only going to go with field goals here. But it's all about points, and here's a 3-0 game when we're approaching the half. The second field goal could very well take control of this game. So even though he's trying to get it into the barn, 20 yards, 25 yards, get well within field goal range here. I mean, we were watching pregame warm-ups back in the Dallas Super Bowl when we were there, and I was watching him just nail 70-yarders with field goals. So he's got the leg to do it.
And we will be closing the poll at the half, so you got about a minute left. If you haven't had a chance to vote, if you're just now joining, pops up on your screen, pick it. We're just having fun. We want to see what the GBN Nation thinks. So far, you guys are pretty well right on a 3-0 score. That means we got to score a lot of points in the second half if we're going to top over the poll here.
And I don't think that happens with these two staunch defenses like this that they're flying all over the field. And they're better than bend but don't break. They're pretty stiff. It's just that they're hard to move the ball on.
Yep.
And that's why you're looking at a 3-0 score with 30 seconds left in the half. And keep in mind there is 2 timeouts per game, not per half, and I think that's what Bob's trying to do. He's watching the clock.
He's watching the clock, yep.
He's trying to get him a good 20-yard, 25-yard gain here, and you're going to start seeing him look at the clock, counting it down to about 2 seconds and yelling timeout. So
interception.
Right at the 50 right there, 45-yard line.
He does have a chance to return this.
And this is going to spell disaster for these Longhorns. I mean,
there's nobody.
They're in trouble. If he doesn't turn out here, and this is going to be the last play of the game, but they're going to have to play it out. This could be a foot race to the house here. Dr. Bob and the Longhorns just desperately trying to just keep him out of the end zone.
It's the last play. He can't find a man. Next time the man was going to back. He can't adjust him though. He can't adjust. He can set him the way he was.
Last play of the half. People
Last play of the half.
And we have a touchdown.
And an interception touchdown. Wow. Pick 6. That's going to go 7-0 as a Friday Night Legends touchdown. That's incredible. Here we go. All right, guys, we'll be back in 5 minutes. They've already got the clock started.
We were just talking about that with Mike just a few minutes ago before this game started. He's like, I got my first pick 6 of ever in my career. Well, now he's gotten 2 in the same weekend.
Wow. 1st and 10. All right, guys, we'll be back just shortly. Stand by.
imagine a game where you can pit the greatest Texas high school football teams of all time against each other. Before now, if you wanted to see the Permian Panthers of Friday Night Lights fame play Johnny Manziel's 2010 Kerrville squad, you were stuck with only your imagination. Not anymore. This new game allows you to play those dream matchups. 1983 Dangerfield only allowed 8 points all season. 2015 Katy, 10 shutouts en route to their 4th straight championship appearance. 2008 Allen, their first of 5 championships in the state's largest classification, and so many more. Friday Night Legends is that game. What are you waiting for? Get in the game. Friday Night Legends.
Back in action. There we go. Second half action just about underway. It's a 30-minute clock. Let's get that synced up. And it looks like the Bills are going to start with the ball. So pick 6 to finish it up. Quarterback option is a goal. Clock will start on the snap. There we go. What are we going to see? We're going to see a run right off the break. Back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain, 2nd and 10. Dr. Bob getting a little frustrated there at the end. Had a pick six to end the half. So he's down 7-3. Really didn't need to do that, but he was trying and just threw it. Mike's got some speed back there in that secondary, so it's anybody's game at this point. All right, 2nd and 10. We're just about ready to go. Welcome in everybody that's just joining back after halftime. This is the Tournament of Champions championship game between Dr. Bob Owens, Mike Robertson. Both guys out of Texas, never played each other. Mike's never played TOC. Dr. Bob does not have a gold ball, so somebody is going to be a new champion. Here we go. Stationary quarterbacks coming in. Does have a man open. Where is he going to go? He's got a couple options here. Throwing it away. 3rd down. Nothing too profitable. Didn't want to throw an interception back the other way. This is a big play here. Dr. Bob could come right back in this game. Clock may have not have started here. We will get that straightened out. Timed up with the original, so their clock's coming into play now. There we go. Third down for Dr. Bob. He's going to definitely need to stop here. This could swing the momentum back the other way and get a nice ability to punt out of it.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit devastated there at that play at the end of the half. Don't have timeout.
26-56. $56. You're right. There you go. 26-56. And I believe that was timeout for Dr. Bob. So we'll get that.
No, it's on Mike's side.
Nope, that was Dr. Bob's. Mike has already called one timeout.
Okay, yep.
So Dr. Bob. So
one apiece left.
Yep.
And those are going to come in crucial down at the end of this game here. We're still just talking one score. But what I was saying is, it seemed like Dr. Bob would go over in the corner and bang his head against the wall on that play at the end of the half, but that's not him. He gets upset at himself for about 10 seconds, and then it's like, okay, next, let's move on. Really, the mark of a good coach, you just kind of have to have a short-term memory and put things behind you and get on with it, because you got time to be frustrated and upset and go back and review later. Right now, you're still in this game. You're still, for the most part, being able to run your playbook, and he's desperately trying to get these wings established. He's kind of mastered getting his wideouts off the jams there at the line of scrimmage and hitting these short 12, 15-yard passes and breaking big. And I think Mike has to actually respect this run up the middle at this point, because we've seen him roll off big runs between the guards with his quarterbacks. He's doing a lot of quarterback sneak stuff now.
So clock will start on the snap of the board. Can get a motion and a pivot out of there. Here we go. Stationary quarterback's coming in. Does he have anybody open? He's looking.
I think this is going to almost be a cover sack here. He just
incomplete, fourth down.
Imagine a game where you can pit the greatest Texas high school football teams of all time against each other. Before now, if you wanted to see the Permian Panthers of Friday Night Lights fame play Johnny Manziel's 2010 Kerrville squad, you were stuck with only your imagination. Not anymore. This new game allows you to play those dream matchups. 1983 Dangerfield only allowed 8 points all season. 2015 Katy, 10 shutouts en route to their 4th straight championship appearance. 2008 Allen, their first of 5 championships in the state's largest classification, and so many more. Friday Night Legends is that game. What are you waiting for? Get in the game. Friday Night Legends.
Coach is making the final adjustments. Dr. Bob reaching for the switch. Referee's trying to realign a couple of people out of position here. And Dr. Bob coming to a stationary quarterback now. Passer in hand. He's looking now, he's counting off his boundary of 20 yards. Can only fall back 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. He wants to make sure that nobody's going to get behind that line.
think we're back in action here. Sorry about that, folks. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It happens.
Sometimes we lose internet. Sometimes we lose the wirecast. Sometimes it's just like we had yesterday, a power surge where all the lights dim, all the boards get cut off. We get the collective woo throughout the room, and nobody really knows what happened. But I guess the price we pay when we're dealing with electricity and technology.
It happens, yeah. We had a little flicker or something happened and got knocked out, so we should be back in there. All right, so what? Make sure we got our downs right. Do we have a down count? I believe
This is first down.
it is first down. Okay, I want to make sure. I was trying to keep up with the game the best that we could, but I wanted to make sure that we got everything back up and running as smooth as we could as well.
I might be mistaken. This may be second down. I had somebody talking over my shoulder. I think it's now second down because there were some adjustments on that.
Yep.
On the first play, and then they ran that play for no gain. And now we should be in second down and 10 here.
Little bit of adjustment there. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for your patience with that. It is second down. Thanks. We can always count on Stephen LeGros. He's kind of
Yes.
like the great overseer of that
Well,
staff.
we have GBN West and Mark and Gerard, and now we have GBN South, deep South, I guess, with Stephen, because we're in the South as well. So he's a little further south, and Stephen always helps to keep us straight. Looking for a pass down the left sideline here, a fairly distant pass, and again through a lot of traffic. Dr. Bob's passing's been dialed in here for the last couple of possessions.
Incomplete.
It looks to miss wide left, just low. That would have been a good pickup there because a lot of real estate out in front down that sideline. And you know, the angles are so critical and so crucial in football as it is, but especially in miniature and electric football because you're only dealing with 1-inch scale figure. And to cover a 30 or 40 yard gap, and you have to be on the right angle. And there's one elemental difference between a miniature football piece and a human. A human knows enough that he's got eyesight, he has judgment, he has the physical tools to readjust. He may not have the speed necessarily to run an angle down, but he knows where he's got to get to. The problem with electric football is you're dealing with an inanimate object, and he doesn't know to run in that angle. So he may get all the way there. He may close 35 of the 40 yards that you have to close, and right at the last second dip out and miss the tackle.
It happens. I've had it happen to me. We ran out of bounds at the 1 yard line. Nobody was even close to the guy. He's like, oh, that's cool. I want to.
And how frustrating. It's kind of funny and frustrating at the same time to be going in for a touchdown and watch your ball carrier peel off and go out at the 2 yard line. It's almost like you want to just blow them on into the end zone. But
Yep. Let's see what Dr. Bob's got up his sleeve here. I mean, he's still got a chance. 15 minutes left. He's only down 4 points, so a touchdown would definitely put him ahead. It's been a tight game so far. He's got a man open.
this time a better look, kind of a super highway of an approach here. He's just got to hit this receiver.
I believe he overthrew him and hit an interception.
Yep, he did. Or no, they're going to call that a bounce. It bounced just before, but it was dead on with the receiver coming up.
Yeah,
He wasn't getting any yardage out of it because the defender was close enough that he would have made the tackle instantly. When I say yardage after the catch, but that would have been a good, easy 15, 20-yard pickup there. Now we're looking at fourth, and I'm wondering if they're not discussing a punt here.
They are looking at a punt. I agree. I think that might have been picked off. I really do. I thought I saw it hit, but it may have bounced.
I'd like to see it again, but I would have maybe thought that too. But I think Brian is.
They're right on
one
top
of the
of
referees. He was leaning over the play, and I think what they're going to think is it bounced in front of him. And now they're talking about this punt rule right now and trying to see where the spot is, because Dr. Bob's looking at, hey, you know, if I can pin him down inside, we got a clock stoppage here. He's looking if I can pin him down inside the 5 or 2 yard line on a punt, but there's a certain distance that it has to travel. And it looks like
have a rules question about where the punt's going to go.
yeah, they're trying to figure out if they have enough space to get their 45 yards in.
It's either 45 or 35. That's what's
Right.
in question about where they're at. So we've got the rules committee on it.
We'll get it sorted out here in a minute.
Welcome in, Alex Bray. Yep. People still do this, and not do they just do this. This is on a whole nother
This
level.
is on a professional world championship level now.
Yep. It's and this hobby is as good as it gets.
You're actually looking at the best players in the world at this very moment. And for those of you that are casual viewers, we just want to explain that, yes, we do know what we're doing with this. We have to, every once in a while there's a scenario that arises that we don't deal with.
Any punt inside the 50,
We're getting an explanation now as we speak.
35 yards, outside is 45.
Yep. So inside the 50 is a 35-yard punt. Outside of the 50-yard line is a 45. So
Right.
they've got it right. We knew that they would. We have a whole rules committee on standby. You know, and that's where the confusion comes in. There's so many different play styles and so many different rule sets that when you get into a tournament, you may get one confused with another. It happens on certain instances. So they want to make sure they get it right, and they made the right call. Pause the clock to be able to do that.
But these rules committees spend hours and hours and hours sorting through this stuff in every possible scenario, so that when it does come up, even though it may take a minute or two, we'll get it right. We want to make sure we get it right. But I think the question on Bob's part was, should I even go for the punt? Because he was trying to figure out, depending on what the answer was, it was like, am I going to be able to pin these guys back inside the 5, or are they going to get out on the 35? And where's the ball going to land if I punt? I think had it turned out a little differently, I think he would have made a different decision there. But he was just trying to figure out what the end result or what his choice would be.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. It's going to be a short gain, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Yep, that's where they're going to mark them, so second down. There we go. Good morning, Mr. John Sullivan, Anthony John. Welcome in. See Jay Brown and Glenn. Thank you guys so much for joining with us. This is the championship game of the 2019 Capital City Clash. We're just outside of Washington, D.C. We drove through the cherry blossoms. I understand we missed the peak season, which was Monday, but they were still really nice on the way in.
Ladies and gents, in just a little over 12 minutes now, I'm counting down. We're going to crown a new Capital City Clash champion. Neither one of these coaches have won a TOC leg to punch their ticket on into Richmond later this year. So it's, you know, this is one of those, it's the bittersweet Papa syndrome, as I like to call it. You know, you love everybody in these tournaments. You love all the camaraderie and the friendships, and in most cases, even family-like atmosphere. You hate to see one of them, and we never really say one of them do lose. They don't lose. It's just a matter of somebody, by the nature of the business that we do, we keep running the champions, the great coaches, into each other to crown a champion. And it's just, unfortunately, someone has to step back and take the loss. And, you know, there's been many coaches just this weekend, many great coaches that aren't on this field right now that are deserving to play. And it seems like every time we have one of these tournaments, when we get into the Final 16, you know, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, down to the Final 4, it's just like you could throw everybody's name in a hat, pull out one, and not be surprised that was who your champion was.
Yep, certainly a thing there, and you know, we're going to have a new face on the horse trailer. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, we have 17 members right now. We're fixing to crown at least at a minimum by the end of the day, or 18th, and we still have a Coach's Challenge game to go. And Mike's in the Coach's Challenge as well, right?
Yes, Mike is.
Okay,
Mike
so
is in the
he
Coach's
could go.
Challenge.
He could go for a double here.
He could go for the double. Pat was on air last night talking about the double up, so he doesn't have to spend all his money at the casino, luckily, because that was his plan if he got the double up.
That's right.
And Mike is pushing towards that, so there's a good possibility Mike may be able to do it.
Still looking for our first trifecta winner. Brandon's a two-time horse trader recipient. Frank Jacobs in the room, two-time. We have a number of two-time winners, but no trifectas, no triple winners. And Brian Phillips has gone on record to tell me that he's going to be the first TOC, Coach's Challenge, and league champion on the trail.
That's a possibility.
Long running, talking about Brandon and his father Oscar being the first father-son team on the trail with the Coach's Challenge.
They were set even for the tournament champions. They were on opposite sides of the bracket. It could have happened.
Well, we could have had an all-Woodard Super Bowl or a championship today. Which again wouldn't surprise me either.
No, heck no. Great coaches both ways there. They've been around the hobby a long time. But
Didn't Dr. Bob a lot of fun just to watch.
Oh my gosh, he's such an animated character. I can't really say what he said to us in L.A. No. Something about being an attention person, but he likes the attention. There were other words that were thrown in there.
He is an attention blank.
You fill in the blank.
Yes.
I'll let you guys fill in the blank. But yes, that's Dr. Bob's words, not ours.
And that's self-professed. That's not our label. He loves the limelight, but he graciously stepped back on a couple occasions yesterday to let us highlight some of the other coaches. It's the younger, lesser-known coaches that have showed up. He didn't, overpoweringly ask, "Hey, I want to be on the feature game." Sometimes we get that from him, and it's like I tell the really good players, don't be too anxious to get over here, because if the cream's always going to rise to the top anyway. If you're good enough, you're going to make your way here anyway, just like these two have now.
What a grudge match here.
Yeah, they're kind of throwing haymakers now. Just you have those games that are the 35, 40 type point games, and they're shootouts and they're back and forth, and we certainly had our share of those. But this is one of those. It's kind of like watching a no-hitter in baseball. It's just as exciting defense. I love defense, And when you can see a good defense shut down a good offense, that's a thing of beauty too. It's just a matter of how long, who's going to blink first.
Yep. So yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a really cool thing. The Cash versus the Woodard matchup. I'd look forward to seeing that. And Mark, you're not really close. It starts with a W.
Yeah.
We'll play some Wheel of Fortune of Dr. Bob's an attention W.
Yeah. Attention and doozies. Well, that'd be.
That's the. I don't even know. Church lady next door might appreciate it.
Yeah.
Whew. You guys missed our church session this morning. If you didn't join us at 10 a.m., we had it going on. You got a church
in some language
football.
We didn't understand.
I don't
know. It was being piped in over the overhead PA, and I always say, football and religion, you can't get a better mix.
It was good stuff. Everybody was like, "What in the world?" But needed it.
Well, there's Steven. He's helping us out with the. You're on track there, bud.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That is a fact. Like I said, that was Dr. Bob's words, not ours. Pass is complete on third down. Onto the left-hand side. Six minutes left. Is he going to go for it?
6 minutes.
All right, we're going to wipe it up, and we're going to get a punt here. Oh, my goodness.
That's an interesting call here because, that
Wow.
That's that defense stepping up and forcing his hand.
Bob has forced some punts. Mike must really have some trust in his defense to coming down the stretch. I mean, he has done a pick six, which is his only score in the game. So
Well, I know he's feeling good coming off of that, but the bottom line is you cannot go to sleep on this offense. About the time you think you've got him sewn up, he's going to bust a 50, 60-yard run up the middle. You know, he runs with the Raiders team in the Dallas Miniature Football League, and he racks up yardage with these old-time Raider, Mark Van Egan, Marcus Allen. It's just phenomenal to watch the stats that he rolls, and that whole league does such. I think probably from a statistician, just keeping the numbers up, I don't think there's any other league in the country that keeps the stats like they do. I mean,
they have a phenomenal. They have a pro stats system. I mean,
right.
It's crazy. Let me tell you something. I'm watching this. We were talking with Ken Allen and some other folks on the cam. I think Mr. National was on here when he was playing Big Salty. This look that Bob has on camera right now, this is that determined look.
Yeah, it's like get out of my way. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That emoji with all the little squiggly letters.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking
all
at.
the
But that's the
characters.
look. The tobacco spitting. He's back in this game right now.
He's just like a fire-breathing dragon. You know, he just
a
little bit of Hulk in him too. I think. I mean, he's got him. He's the most lovable person you'd ever want to meet.
Don't get me wrong. He is pinned down. I believe I'm going to take a look at the side overhead cam if we get that set up. Yeah, he's pinned down inside of the 20. So with 4 minutes remaining, but you know he's made some big plays.
Oh, he's got one right now.
Oh my gosh!
He has got an
You guys
absolute
better look
convoy
out.
over the middle. If he hits this pass, we're off to the races. We're going to take a look at this.
Give us 1 second. We've got a replay coming up. I've got a pretty good angle, so we should be okay. It's going to be on this screen here. Give it just a second. I'm gonna it's going to switch. I've got this view, but you can see it.
Okay.
It should be okay. Yep.
That's close, but I thought it did hit the base.
Give it just a second, because I was looking at a couple things here. So let's see if it'll give me anything at all here. Yep. Hang on. I'll pause it. I'm going to go, let's go here. Let's go halftime. And let's blow this up. So, all right, here we go. Slowly.
Guys, stay back a little bit.
That's what I wish we had.
Let me back it up.
Guys, just hang with us here a minute. We're in a review booth here. You made the original call, right? You need to be back here.
Bounce. I thought about Jim's in here. Bounce.
It hit the base.
And we have the official call. It's going to be a completed pass, so we're off to the run here.
So that is complete. Wow, it's good enough for a first down. 3:23. We'll have a timeout. Chris, is it Chris's timeout?
That's
Dr. Bob.
Bob has
No more timeouts. No more timeouts for Bob.
It's a minute, then a 40 go in. It's a minute timeout.
All right.
The real city's still upstairs.
What's going on, Feig? Hope you guys are traveling safe back. Yes, Lynn, Weird Wolf, that is under review. We reviewed it in the booth. We have some different ways to be able to see it. We had one angle to be able to look at it, but you could tell that you couldn't see the bounce on the back. It hit at the back of the base at the same time.
And in real time, I what I saw, and not that I matter, I'm just a broadcaster, but from what I saw real time, I saw the figured lunge almost immediately. In my opinion, if it would have been a bounce, it would have been a little bit of a delayed lunge, and as soon as he released it, I saw the figure kind of lunge a little bit. So, one of those 0.1% of the times we might have got it wrong, but thank goodness that we do have the technology to sort it out.
Definitely not. It was. Yeah, you can see it. It bounced off the back of his base. I got it right there. There's no way it would have bounced that way.
3, 2, 1.
Yep.
So I'm pretty confident we got that call right. You don't ever want to make a bad call to cost somebody a game, but that, in my opinion, that was the right call.
Yep. Referees agreed. That's going to be 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. The clock will start on the tick. There we go.
You push him back. Push him back. If you push him back, you can throw. Yeah, that's in the rule. That is in the rule.
Missed. Incomplete. 2nd down. The third?
Second down.
2nd down.
3 minutes.
3 minutes remaining. Dr. Bob have one in him.
Yeah, the field goal's nearly off the table at this point. You've got to go to the barn here.
Pep, to answer your question, who was in the Final Four? It was Dr. Bob and Salty Keith Chalmers versus they were in our feature game just prior to this one, and Brian Phillips versus Mike Robertson.
And Brian and Mike had a much closer game. That game could have went either way within the last 5 minutes. Salty just kind of ran out of gas, and Bob kind of manhandled in the last half. And the game ended up 21-7, I believe, or 28-7. And you can tell Salty was markedly fatigued, kind of limping around the board, and was in really bad shape. He actually had to leave here last night at midnight, go to work, and make it back over here after a shift. So.
2 minutes.
That top-down view, see what kind of formation we've got. What does Dr. Bob have up his sleeve? Missed all around, but he's got
from everywhere. But he's
got a guy open, but it ain't by much.
This is going to be almost a down by contact and trying to just get yardage. He's going to be out of timeout, so he's got to put the hustle wagon on here.
Wow, good pass.
It doesn't look like that defender is going to be able to even wiggle in it. He's engaged. Even if this is a no run after catch, he's got some
careful of that
yardage.
turnover, though. Got to be careful right here.
Yeah, Pep, we missed you. We always miss when Pep's not in the house. One of our favorite folks. And Stephen had a party. Did Pat go? I think Pat went out lead 8.
Lead 8,
yeah.
Yep.
In fact, it was Brandon, I think, took him out. Brandon, no, Mike.
I believe Mike did.
Mike took him down. Yeah.
I believe Mike did.
We have to apologize, guys. When you got 15 games going on at one time, and we're trying to stay in tune and cover one in depth, and we're getting stuff in one ear, and people are leaning over our shoulder, and then they all start kind of running together. So.
Hello, Chris Stringer. How's it going?
This
Welcome
could
in.
very well be the last play of the game here.
He does not have any more timeouts.
He would have to go quick here and post the center the only way.
You have to have all 5 down now.
No, okay.
You have to have all 5, so center's not going to do it.
Wasn't that a change here just in this last year?
It was.
Yeah, you have to have all 5 of your interior posted now. So only on field goals, I think they allow. This is going to be the game, folks. He's going to. And there's a sack. All right, the referee's going to call for the replay here, so give us a minute to queue up. I'm going to take Dustin's mic down here so he can confer with the referees, and I'll try to keep you in tune with what's going on here as we get this queued up. Be patient with us. We're going to be able to sort it all out.
Game over. Game over.
That's a sack, and that's a wrap. Guys, we're going to stay right here. We're going to get geared up for the Coaches Challenge. We'll have trophy presentation coming up very soon.
Thank you guys. Great job. I love watching.
Yeah, we love watching y'all
Man,
too.
what
This time go to the house.
What a game, what a game. Need the mic? All right, give us 1 second.